This week in Jamaica Now, the budget breakdown. Alcohol, fuel and tobacco prices are going up, and it could cost more for your light bill. Your group insurance premiums will also now attract GCT. One union says the measures are almost criminal, and the opposition wants a rollback of the measures. 32 Jamaicans deported from the United Kingdom. Attorney at law Harold Brady struck off the roll of attorneys. He says he will appeal. And Scotiabank rolls back the $385 fee to exchange a $5,000 note. I'm Damian Mitchell, and this is Jamaica Now. Jamaicans are bracing for new taxes, some of which will take effect on Monday as the government seeks to rake in $27 billion. Of this amount, some $16 billion will be to replace the money the government is giving up to fulfill its election promise to forego income taxes on $1.5 million of people's salaries. Finance Minister Audley Shaw announced on Thursday that alcohol will be going up. Fuel will also be going up by as much as $7.36 per litre. So too will tobacco. As a result, a $17 tax will now apply to each stick of cigarette, up from $14. Light bills have also been hit. As of April 3, you will pay GCT on electricity usage over 150 kilowatt-hour as opposed to 350 kilowatt-hour. And GCT has been introduced for group health insurance. It means that your monthly premiums will now attract 16.5% tax. Sagicor boss Richard Bile says this is unfortunate.
Health insurance really costs that individual worker who is taking the bus or taking a taxi to work or buying gas to come to work. It hits them hard.
And one union representative says the burden that will be placed on public sector workers because of the new measures is almost criminal.
Most of the people that we represent will not be getting any further give back, as they call it, and certainly even in the first tranche of payments. And therefore, for them now to be asked to be making additional payments to afford relief to persons who are better able to afford it, I think it is almost criminal.
Meanwhile, the opposition leader has called for a rollback of the revenue measures. Portia Simpson Miller says only then will Jamaicans truly begin to receive a tax break. A day earlier, her spokesman on finance, Peter Phillips, said the taxes were devastating.
Particularly on the working poor, all those people who are trying to make ends meet. And we must remember, contrary to all that they are claiming, the truth is that what they are doing was not what had been promised, because they had promised that they could have raised this threshold without a tax package.
And with the government imposing a tax package to fund the 1.5 plan and announcing it will be dipping into the reserves of the NHT for $11 billion, there are questions about credibility. While in opposition, the Jamaica Labour Party had said no new taxes would be imposed and also decried the PNP for raiding the NHT. The matter of credibility was among the issues raised with Prime Minister Andrew Holness last month in an interview with the Gleaners Arthur Hall.
One of the things that I've picked up in the discourse about fulfillment of promises, what would politics be if the politician did not come to the people and lay out their intentions? The people have to judge whether or not you are genuine about your intentions, your aspirations. This is what they are. And sometimes the critics will say, well, we take what you say literally. But I think the electorate, looking at how genuine you are, how much it can trust you, will take you seriously, that at the appropriate time, as circumstances allow, that you will fulfill your commitments.
The Ministry of National Security says social services will be provided to the 32 Jamaicans who were deported from the United Kingdom on Wednesday. A larger number of deportees was expected, but some were given last-minute reprieve, including a woman who is the sole caretaker of her husband who is now suffering from stage 3 cancer. Attorney at law Harold Brady has been struck off the roll of attorneys after he was found guilty of misconduct. The matter involved more than $100 million that was to have been paid to the Factories Corporation of Jamaica for property it sold on Marcus Garvey Drive. But years later, Brady had not paid the money as he was instructed to do. Mr. Brady says he will be appealing the decision to strike him off the roll of attorneys. Scotiabank Jamaica has taken steps to remove a bank charge of $385 for exchanging a $5,000 note for smaller denominations. The bank says the fee was erroneously being charged by some of its branches. Deputy Chief Executive Officer David Nowell says the charge was never intended for small customers and so will only apply for the exchanging of $20,000 or more. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, excerpts of that interview with former Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller released on International Women's Day.
The people asked me if I would stand. I gained a lot of support because people were saying, and at that time, I had my hair natural like yours. I was slim like your finger.
Yes, you were as slim as my finger.
Oh, Lord. All I had was a heavy head of hair then.
What's next for Portia Simpson Miller?
I believe in the interest of the young people of the country and the girls and the boys coming up, that they should hear my story. Girl from Woodhall to Jamaica House, the journey.